just what we were trying to avoid. The exact thing that we have been working towards and all our hard work to make sure this doesn't happen happened anyways. Everything that Goose and Glitch tried to avoid and did their absolute best to make sure it doesn't happen, well, it all came crashing down in the end. Yep, I'm talking about the leaks. The spoilers, the leaks, the fact that the entire movie is now up online on Reddit, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and whatever social media app you can think of. All because one impatient person couldn't wait for 2 weeks and decided to take the Brazilian dub and spread it online for everyone to see.
No! What the fuck?
Yep, that's great. And, I actually, saw a spoiler part, and, yeah, I'm not happy about it. Thankfully, I haven't been too spoiled. I don't think the thing that I saw was too big of a spoiler. So, I guess that's good, but, a lot of people have already, been spoiled of the entire ending and are now refunding their movie tickets because they, already saw it in a different language. So this is great. This is a great time for Goose, for Glitch, for indie animation in general. Anyways, that's not what I'm here to talk about. I'm not here to talk about the spoilers or anything. There's plenty of videos online. You guys can, look that up yourself. I don't know. But I'm here to talk about the final episode and what I think all of the real characters' names are. Or what all the characters' real names are. You know what I mean. Now, I was going to do this a little bit later, like about the time when it was going to release in theaters. But of course, things went south, so I'm trying to get this video as quick as possible, because the leaks are everywhere and they're invading everywhere, and I'm pretty sure it's only a matter of time until the entire movie is out on YouTube. So yeah, I'm gonna make this video really quickly, get this out as soon as possible, basically before, I get spoiled and I no longer can share my predictions anymore. So yep, enjoy this video. I am sharing all of my final name predictions for the cast of The Amazing Digital Circus. I didn't prepare a script for this, so please just bear with me here. So, all of the characters that I'm covering today are Kinger, Gangle, Zooble, Jax, Ragtha, and Pomni. Basically the main 6. I do have a little bonus list of Ribbit, Kaufmo, and Scratch, but we can cover that at the end. So the first person we have on our list is Kinger. Now, what could Kinger's name be? Okay, so I'm basing all of my predictions on what Goose has said and also what other quote-unquote leaks have said. I say quote-unquote leaks because they're kind of fake leaks. It was just fan-made stuff. And it came out before the entire episode 9 got leaked, so I'm kind of just basing off that and also kind of just their personalities. So what do we have here for Kinger? Well, according to Goose's message to one of the fans who asked what the real names are, or if, anybody was able to guess the real names, it seems that Kinger's real name has kind of already been guessed by a lot of people. Goose has said that she saw that some people have already guessed Kinger's real name. So, some is kind of a broad term. It could mean a couple people, it could mean a bunch of people. So, yeah, I don't really know what some means. However, there's a theory that Kinger's real name is Grant. And it also shows in this image right here on the screen that I'm going to show, that Kinger's real name is Grant. And he is voiced by Sean Chiplock, which is, Kinger's voice actor. So, this leads to my final guess that Kinger's real name is Grant. I also think that Grant is a name that fits him, so yeah. Alright, for Kinger, we are going to put Grant as his name prediction. Next up, we have Gangle. Alright, so what could Gangle's name be? Well, based off of this post from, this is the same post by the way, based off of this post from Gooseworks explaining how, some people had already guessed Zooble's name, but they guessed Zooble's name for the wrong character. that kind of, I don't know. I don't know if it kind of helps or doesn't, but I don't know. It kind of does help. Okay, so anyways, and then going back to this fake quote unquote leak of the characters' real names, we can see that Zubul is Marcia. Right there, it says Marcia. And the fact is that Goose did say that there were only, I don't know, maybe one or two or maybe a couple people who guessed Zubul's name, and while they did guess Zubul's name correctly, or well, not correctly, but they guessed Zubul's name, and the name is technically correct, it's just not for Zubul, it's for a different character. So that kind of got me thinking, who could possibly have this name? And then it kind of just got me thinking, Gangle. It might actually be Gangle. I don't know, I didn't know about the name Marcia, but as I started thinking more about it, Martha sounded like a really good name. And as I started looking more at Gangle and like fan art of what her human form looks like, and I just started thinking about it more, I kind of realized that Martha is a really good name for a Gangle. And I think it really, I think she looks like a Martha. So that's why I'm going to decide to put Gangle's name prediction as Martha. Sweet little Martha. Alright, up next we have Zubul, who, it was kind of a hard, guess to come up with a good name for Zubul. But here's the thing, Zubul goes by they, them pronoun, or well, any pronouns, actually. And she kind of, I don't know, and again, we're going based off of what Goose has said about this. Somebody guessed Zubul's name, but it was for the wrong character, so, I don't know, and I kind of just, looked up, names that, non-binary names, and, names that, that could be used for either a boy or a girl, and I kind of just started thinking about it a little bit more, and honestly, I feel like I originally thought it was maybe Ashley, Ashley Nichols, the person who voices Zubul, which actually that sounds like a really good name for Zubul, not gonna lie. But then again, I didn't know, I don't know, I don't think it's Ashley, but it could be Ashley. I don't think it is though. And then I started thinking about it more, and then I was like, I think River is a really good name. It's non-binary. It could be either a boy or girl's name, and I think it sounds cool. So that's why we're putting Zubul as River. River is Zubul. I don't think I've seen anybody guess River for Zubul, but I think it suits Zubul very good. Now we move on to Ragatha. I am not gonna lie with you, Ragatha's name was actually kind of difficult to come up with. I can't remember if Goose said that anybody guessed Ragatha's name. I don't think anybody has though just yet. And a lot of people have been theorizing that maybe her name's something like old, or a vintage name, like Marianne or Jillian or something like that. And I do agree that it is a more vintage, older name. I do think that that's kind of where Ragatha's name is. I'm not sure if it's Jillian or Marianne or anything like that. And then so I kind of just started looking up vintage old names, and Leanne actually was one that piqued my interest, and I thought it was a really cute name. And I think that, and Raggedy Ann, and the fact that she's literally based off of Raggedy Ann and the show, I thought Leanne would be a really cute name for Ragatha. So yeah, sweet little Ragatha is going to be called Leanne. Up next we have Jax. Again, Jax was kind of hard to come up with. A lot of people theorized that Jax's real name was Felix because they thought that wait, why did they think it was Felix? Oh, wait, I remember. It was the scene after his panic attack in the bathroom, and then he was looking at the bathroom mirrors, and it said chill something, and a lot of people was when they zoomed in, they thought it read Felix, and they thought like, oh my gosh, does that mean, Jax's name is Felix? And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want Jax's real name to be Felix. I do actually really like that name for him. It's like kind of like a mischievous, boy's name, and that's exactly what Jax is. He's a mischievous little boy. Well, not little, but you know what I mean. But I think that like theory might be it was debunked anyways, because it ended up not saying Chill Felix, it ended up saying Chill Fella. So yeah, it's probably not Felix. And again, Gooseworks did say that only like a couple people or like one person guessed Jax's real name. So yeah, it's probably not Felix, because a lot of people thought it was Felix. So then I kind of just started doing more research, and I decided to look up like what are some like boy names that kind of mean like crazy and sneaky and mischievous, and Lucas was actually one of those names. Lucas is a name that kind of, resonates with boys who are, sneaky and love to, play pranks and cause trouble. And the fun fact, actually, Felix is also on that list. So I kind of thought like Lucas might be, it might be a stretch. It might be something. So yeah. All right. And now, guys, to the final countdown with our main character, star of the show, Pomni. Who could Pomni be? It's not Christine, I can tell you that. Everybody at some point thought that Pomni's real name was Christine because of that one merch video of Kane and the computer going, I don't know if it was computer, but purple box thing saying like, come on Christine, like don't lie to me, Christine. And she did say that it wasn't her name, but there were a lot of like comic dubs that started using Pomni's like real name as Christine because they thought that was her real name. And honestly, I do like the name Christine. I do think that Christine is a good name for Pomni. I truly think that. But again, Goose said that only like one person guessed Pomni's real name, and plus based on this fake leak picture, that is not what this person thought. They thought her name was Elizabeth, which is actually kind of funny because that's literally her voice actor's name, Lizzie Freeman. So yeah, I don't think it's Elizabeth or Christine, even though either one could work just as fine. Pomni is a really good written character. She is an empath. She's honestly just really sweet. And she definitely she redeems others. She sees the good in others. And while, she can be a bit like, insecure and like panicky and stuff. Again, she truly wants to see the best in people. And, so kind of just started, thinking of names that kind of, are sweet or like, just simple names. And then Julia came to mind. Julia. And then I was like, you know what? That's it. That's her name. Julia is Pomni's name. I really like that name for Pomni. So I seriously don't know what's happening anymore. I just pull these names out of, I don't know where I pulled these names out of. So just bear with me. Now, I did say that I had a couple of other guesses for other names or for other characters, like for Ribbit, Kaufmo, and Scratch. Okay, so for Ribbit, I did Lily. For Scratch, I did... Wait, what did I do for Scratch? For Scratch, I did Adam. And then Kaufmo, I did Connor. I have no explanation, so please don't ask me for one because I genuinely don't know where I came up with these names. And I don't know, maybe we will never find out what these characters' names are. So, that's fun. Alright, so, yep, these are my final name predictions before, I watch the finale, or, before I get spoiled of the entire movie, and then I don't want to watch the finale anyways. So, yeah, hopefully I'm mostly correct on some of these. I know I'm not getting probably most of these correct. But these are just some name suggestions or name predictions that I think is possible. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to find out. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm done with this video. everybody go hug your dog or something. Also, I will be turning off comments for this video just to avoid spoilers and even more spoilers. So, yeah, sorry about that, but I gotta do what needs to be done, so